Okay, so we are back in session on our 10 o'clock DV pretrial conference docket. We are live streaming on YouTube. We have Mr. Stewart for the state on the telephone, Madam Clerk also appearing telephonically. The courtroom is empty except for the bailiffs and for me. And I'll be calling the defense attorneys here in just a minute. Okay, so we'll start with Mr. LeVay. He has two cases. Same person. Okay, calling him now. Good morning. Is Mr. LeVay there, please?
Yes, Your Honor. 1 second, please.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, here's Mr. LeVay.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Seth LeVay on behalf of Julio Amaya. How are you?
I'm all right. Good morning, Mr. LeVay. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
We have Mr. Stewart for the state also appearing on the telephone. As you said, Julio Amaya, he has two cases, 19mm 1256 and 20mm 96.
Yes, Judge. I don't think that speedy trial should be an issue. If it is, I'm glad to take a defense continuance.
All right, and so the request is for a continuance then with a waiver?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Stewart, do you have any objection to that request?
No objection.
All right, Madam Clerk, is the next date 2/15, 10 o'clock?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, so Mr. LeVay, both cases with Mr. Amaya are continued to DV pretrial February 15th at 10 o'clock, and those will be telephonic just like this morning, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Help me safe.
You as well. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you too.
Bye-bye. Okay, next is Mr. Verderamo on Leonardo Diaz. Good morning. This is Rob Crown calling. How are you today?
How are you, Judge?
I'm fine, thank you. Is Mr. Verderamo available or Mr. Carney?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge Adam Carney.
Good morning, Mr. Carney. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I am fine, thank you. We have Mr. Stewart on the telephone for the state, and you have Leonardo Diaz, case number 20MM 1696.
I don't know, are we sitting or?
Not for trial. You've got a couple of options. We can continue this to a pre-trial. That would be February 15th, or we can set it on a plea docket.
Let's just go to another pre-trial, Judge.
Mr. Stewart, do you have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
Madam Clerk, Jesus Diaz Leonardo 20MM 1696 is continued to February 15th at 10 o'clock. The next case with Mr. Carney is Julio Rodriguez Escogido 20MM 739.
Same request, Judge.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, likewise, continued to 2:15 at 10 o'clock. Mr. Carney, anything else from you?
That's all we've got today, Judge. Thanks. Have a great day.
You too, thank you. Bye-bye. All right, next up is Mr. Moffitt on Michael Fuller.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Moffitt. How are you?
Fine, Judge. And yourself?
I am fine, thank you. We've got Mr. Stewart on the telephone. Your case is Michael Fuller, 20mm 1653.
Judge, it's going to be a clean abstention. You should see the clean abstention documents in the file.
All right, so we just need to set it on a plea docket. I can't accept that plea in absentia right now.
Okay.
Let's see.
Can we address it at 2:15?
We can do that, Mr. Moffitt. Actually, I can do it at 2:15 on any day this week if you want to.
Any day and time of the court's choosing is fine with me. If you'd like to do it this afternoon, I'm available.
All right, and I can call you, Mr. Moffitt. I mean, I just need to have the clerk with me in the courtroom, and she's not right now. So I can call you. Let's set this then for this afternoon at 2:15. Again, Michael Fuller, 20mm 1653. So, Mr. Moffitt, you have the option of coming in, or I will call you. What's your preference?
I prefer to call me, Judge.
I will do. I'll call you as soon as we get to that 2:15 docket, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye. All right. Mr. Oros is next on Gustavo Gomez, 20mm 1368. Hello?
This is Andrew McGann.
Mr. McGann, Rob Crown here. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Judge Crown?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I thought I was trying to call Mr. Oros.
Yeah, so I took over for Mr. Oros, and this was the work cell phone.
Ah,
So I have his phone now.
okay, fantastic. Well, it's nice to hear from you again.
Right? I will, I'll talk to you, I think, on Wednesday. Now the court dates to the Wednesday pre-trials for me.
Okay, great. I look forward to it. So you're covering for you've got Mr. Oros's cases.
No, so I took over for Ms. Wilson, who took over for Mr. Oros, but I think he still has additional cases that he can.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm in court right now on a pretrial conference for Gustavo Gomez. Is that yours or is that his?
That was one of the ones that Mr. Oros kept.
Okay, so I've got to get a different number for him.
Yeah, I actually think it might be. Yeah, that's Mr. Oros' case.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McGann. I'll talk to you Wednesday then.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Well, Mr. Stewart, do you have another number? The number I just called was 675-8499. That's on Mr. Oros's notice of appearance.
That's the best I would have, Judge.
Huh. Well, let's come back to that. Maybe I can pull them up on the Florida bar and see if they have a different contact. But we'll come back to that one.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Bazaz is next on Brandon McGlynn, 20mm 379.
morning, this is Sal Bazan.
Good morning, Mr. Bazaz. Rob Crown here. How are you today?
Very good, Judge. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. We have our prosecutor, Mr. Stewart, also appearing telephonically on Brandon McGlynn, 20mm 379.
Great, Judge. May I request a continuance of the waiver of speedy trial?
Sure. Mr. Stewart, do you have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so this case will be continued to a DV pretrial conference docket 2:15 at 10 o'clock, which will likely also be telephonic.
Very good. Thank you very much, Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Mr. Vitale is next on Peter Sanguidolce, 19mm 1695.
Mr. Vitale.
Good morning. Is Mr. Vitale there, please?
Yes, just a minute, Judge.
Thank you.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Vitale. How are you doing?
All right, how are you today?
I am doing just fine, thank you. And we have Mr. Stewart on the telephone as well. Your case is Peter Sanguidolce.
That's correct, Your Honor. 19mm 1695.
Yes, sir.
I have filed a plea in absentia with the state. I believe that we have completed it, and we just need to have the court accept the terms of the plea.
Okay. I've got a few options that are sooner rather than later. I've got 24s all week, and so I can put this. I can't take the plea right now, but I can.
Okay.
I can take it on any day this week at 2:15. And I would be happy to call you. You can still appear telephonically, but at the 2:15 docket, the clerk will be with me. Right now, she's not.
Judge, I have it it's actually set for tomorrow at 9.
Same, this case is?
Yes, for a plea.
Would you just leave it as set then, I guess?
Yes, sir.
Does that work for you? Mr. Stewart, how do you feel about that?
That's fine with me, Judge.
Madam Clerk, do you show Sanguidolce set tomorrow, 9 o'clock for a plea?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, well, we'll leave that as set and take it off the docket today. So are you going to appear telephonically, Mr. Vitale?
I'll do it however you prefer.
It's your preference. You can certainly come in. The only thing I'll need to do at one point is ask you to stipulate, and you can do that on the telephone if you would like.
That'd be fine, Judge. I'll do it on the telephone.
Okay, so I'll initiate the call to you tomorrow morning.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, yes, sir. We'll talk then. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, next up is Mr. Fayette on Serenity Toller, 19mm 2278.
Good morning, Fayetteville.
Good morning. Is Mr. Fayette there, please?
Yes, one moment.
Thank you.
The criminal justice system can be bewildering and frightening. At the Fayette firm, we know that favorable results in a criminal case are obtained by legal skills and hard work. We'll work with you to look at all the options in the case and develop a strategy to get the best result possible in plea bargains, pre-trial motions, or trial. Whether misdemeanor.
Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Fayette. How are you today?
Very good. Very good.
We've got Mr. Stewart on the telephone as well. Your case is Serenity Toller.
We're still ready on that one, Judge?
All right, Mr. Stewart, is the state ready?
Yes.
All right, both sides have announced ready for trial. We're not setting any cases for trial, so this is a court continuance to the next pretrial conference, DV pretrial. Mr. Fayette, that's February 15th, 10 o'clock, also telephonic.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Have a good day. Thanks. Okay, bye. Madam Clerk, you good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next case is with Mr. Cordell, and that is Faye Ward, 20mm 1875.
Hi, this is the Google Assistant. Can I ask what you're calling about?
Good morning, Attorney Spencer Cordell.
Mr. Cordell, Rob Crown here. How are you?
I'm well, Judge. Good morning.
I'm glad you picked up. I was getting nervous. I had the Google Assistant. I didn't know what to say to her.
I don't know how to turn it off either, I'm afraid.
Well, you bailed me out by answering.
Judge, I believe I have one case this morning,
You do, Faye Ward.
and I would ask for a continuance with a waiver on that, Judge.
Mr. Stewart, do you have any objection?
No objection.
All right, Faye Ward, 20mm 1875 is continued to the next DV pretrial, which is February 15th at 10 o'clock. And Mr. Cordell, that'll be telephonic just like this morning, okay?
Excellent. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
You guys have a good day, too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, we have one pro se on the docket, Charles Blanton, who did contact my office with a phone number, so I'll call him next. Again, this is Charles Blanton, 20mm 1870.
Hello?
Hello, is this Mr. Blanton?
Yes, sure.
This is Judge Crown. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Judge. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. I'm in court on a domestic violence pretrial conference docket. We have one case with you, and that is 20mm 1870 battery domestic violence. My first question, Mr. Blanton, are you representing yourself or do you plan to get a lawyer?
I have obviously been representing myself to this point, and I intend on getting an attorney this afternoon.
Okay, so it sounds like you've already looked into it. When you say getting an attorney, do you mean applying for a public defender or hiring a private lawyer?
Hiring a private attorney.
Do you have a meeting scheduled this afternoon? You sounded very certain about that.
Yes, Your Honor. I've got several friends I went to law school with here in the area that I've already discussed the matter with, including Donald Day's office. So
Okay.
I'll be looking to for surely retain one of the three that I've spoken with by this afternoon.
Okay, great. So in the meantime, does that mean you are requesting a continuance so that you have more time to do that?
No, Your Honor. I mean, I am, well, is today just scheduled for the pre-trial conference?
That's all it is, a pretrial.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor. I don't need a continuance. I don't want to waive any speedy trial rights. Is all that I'm just wanting to not do right now by requesting for a continuance.
State?
Well, Judge, if he's asking for a continuance, he's waiving speedy trial.
By virtue of the continuance, and that's true, Mr. Blanton. Are you asking for a continuance so that you can hire a lawyer?
No, Your Honor. I'm not asking for a continuance. Today is just a pre-trial conference docket call. I feel comfortable proceeding on that by myself.
Right, but you're doing just fine by yourself on today's docket. But the question is, where do we go from here? And we can set it for a plea docket, or we can continue it to another DV pretrial conference docket.
So I would be comfortable setting it to a plea docket, and I will proceed with hiring someone this afternoon, and I'm hopeful that it would be able to get sorted out between now and then.
All right, Madam Clerk, do I have a plea docket, which would likely be the first Monday of my 2-week trial cycle? Or Mr. Stewart, do you know that?
Well, Your Honor, I'm a little skeptical of this plan. He has not hired an attorney yet, and in 2 weeks, we are going to be resolving his case when his attorney will need to get discovery, review discovery, get a plea offer. I don't mind setting it there, but I don't see how this is going to be resolved in 2 weeks.
Okay, well, we'll see. It is a lot to accomplish in 2 weeks, but that's his request. So I know I've been scheduling plea dockets on the first Monday of my 2-week trial cycle. And
So that'll be the 25th.
I don't show anything, Madam Clerk. I don't show anything on the 25th so far.
Okay, I don't show a plea docket except for tomorrow, but I'm pulling up your calendar right now. And you said it's usually the first Monday?
The first Monday, yeah.
Next month, on the 1st, you have criminal jury trials at this time set on your docket. On the 8th, you have 9 o'clock special sets.
On February the 8th, I do. I don't see that on my calendar. Mr. Stewart, what do you say about February the 1st or February the 8th?
No objection.
Do you have a preference?
Well, I would probably go with the later time just to give us more time to speak to his attorney. So I would ask for the 8th, I suppose.
Madam Clerk, when you say I have special sets on 2/8 at 9 o'clock, I don't see any of those. I'm in Smart Bench. My guess is you're in Showcase.
I'm in Jack's.
Jack's. What do I have set on that day at 9?
Let me see if there's anything. You have nothing set on either date at this time.
All right, well, here's what we'll do then. Mr. Blanton, we'll set your case for a plea on Monday, February the 8th at 10 o'clock.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
We'll see you then. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Do you want me to make a 10 o'clock docket or a 9 o'clock docket?
10 o'clock, please.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So that was Mr. Blanton. Excuse me. So let's go back to Mr. Oros.
I did go to the bar and got a phone number.
322-6271. That's what the bar says.
Yes.
And I think... Pardon? What did you find on Google? Yeah, I think that's the old one that I just called and I got Mr. McGann. So when I look at the notice of appearance in this file, this is State versus Gustavo Gomez, 20mm 1368. The notice of appearance is, no, it's different than what John just said. It's 675-8499.
Excuse me.
And the number on the Florida bar, the thing is he's required, John, to keep the Florida bar up to date. So I'm going to go with this one first and see. So let me call this number and see if we can get a hold of Mr. Oros.
This is Justin Norris.
Mr. Oros, Rob Crown here. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, Judge Crown. How are you, sir?
I am just fine, thank you. We've got Mr. Stewart for the state also on the telephone, and you've got Gustavo Gomez, 20mm 1368. I'm a little bit confused about this case, only with respect to the notice of appearance. I called the number on your notice of appearance, and I got Mr. McGann.
Oh, Your Honor, that's my fault. I think what I have to do is adjust the notice on the notice or the number on the notice of appearance. It was my old cell phone number, so since then it's switched. So that's entirely my fault. I apologize.
Well, no, that's okay, but I just wanted to make sure you are the attorney of record. You still have this case.
Oh, yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, very good. Thank you. We have Mr. Stewart for the state also on the telephone. Again, this is 20mm 1368. Mr. Oros, what would you like to do?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Stewart. Well, we would request that, Your Honor, I do anticipate this case to be resolved. It's not a trial, speaking with my client. If we could set it for a plea date, if Your Honor has anything in February.
Well, I do. As of 5 minutes ago, I have February the 8th at 10 o'clock.
February the 8th at 10 o'clock, that's perfect.
That works. Okay, Mr. Stewart, what do you say about that?
No objection.
Okay, so we'll set Gustavo Gomez, 20mm 1368 for a plea, 2-8 at 10 o'clock.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good day.
You as well, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, last case on the 10 o'clock docket is with Attorney Miller for Jeremy Henry, 19mm 2167.
Good morning, Mangun and Miller.
Good morning. Is Mr. Miller there, please?
Yes, he is. May I say who's calling?
Sure, Rob Crown.
One moment.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge.
Mr. Miller, did you wrap things up with Judge Chappell?
I did, Your Honor. Thank you.
Oh, great. Yeah, no problem. Busy morning for you. We have Jeremy Henry, 19mm 2167 with Mr. Stewart on the telephone as well.
Yes, sir. We are still ready for trial.
State, are you ready as well?
Yes, Judge.
All right, we're still not setting trials, so this is a court continuance. Mr. Miller, the next DV pretrial conference docket is February the 15th at 10 o'clock, and that will be telephonic just like this morning.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes,
Good
sir.
day.
You as well. Thanks. Bye-bye. And I believe that completes our 10 o'clock docket. Is there anything further to come before the court?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Madam Clerk, you'll be on Zoom for the 11 o'clock civil hearing, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll see you then, and we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Judge.
Bye.
Bye, James.
Bye.